What if I told you Earth isn't the best place to live? Out there in the vastness of space, scientists have found exoplanets that might be even more habitable than our own. Planets with endless oceans, glowing red skies, and maybe even alien life. But could we ever move there? And what if something is already calling them home? Stick around as we explore 8 exoplanets that could be more habitable than Earth. Kepler 452b. Imagine a planet that's been chilling in the habitable zone for 1.5 billion years longer than Earth. That's Kepler 452b, often called Earth's cousin, and for good reason. It's about 60% larger than our planet, meaning gravity would be slightly stronger, but hey, that's just an excuse to get those intergalactic gains, right? Now here's where things get interesting. Kepler 452b orbits a sun-like star, and it's smack dab in the Goldilocks zone, the region where liquid water could exist. You know what that means? This planet might have rivers, oceans, and maybe even life. Scientists believe its atmosphere could be thicker than Earth's, making it better at trapping heat, so, technically, it could be even more habitable than our home. But there's a catch. It's 1,400 light-years away. That's so far that if aliens from Kepler 452b watched Earth through a super telescope, they'd be seeing the year 624 AD right now. Wild, right? So, could we ever move there? Well, unless we figure out faster-than-light travel, it's not happening anytime soon. But Kepler 452b is proof that planets like Earth exist out there. Kepler 442b. What if I told you there's a planet that might actually be more habitable than Earth? Meet Kepler 442b, a super-Earth located 1,206 light-years away. It's about 33% larger than Earth, meaning it has more room for potential life, bigger oceans, and maybe even thicker forests if life exists there. Now here's where things get mind-blowing. Scientists say Kepler 442b scores higher on the habitability index than Earth itself. Why? Well, first, it orbits a much cooler and longer-lasting star, meaning life there could thrive for billions of years more than on Earth. Plus, its position in the habitable zone is almost perfect, meaning it gets just the right amount of sunlight to support liquid water, a key ingredient for life. And get this, since Kepler 442b is rocky and not too big, its gravity would be similar to Earth's. No weird bone-crushing forces or moon-like jumps. If humans ever made it there, we might actually feel at home. But there's a catch because of course there is. It's super far away, making travel almost impossible with today's tech. But who knows? Maybe one day future explorers will land on Kepler 442b and find something waiting for them. Kepler 62f. Imagine a planet 40% larger than Earth, orbiting a distant star 1,200 light-years away. Now picture it covered in vast oceans, endless clouds, and maybe even alien islands. That's Kepler 62f, one of the most promising exoplanets for habitability, and possibly life. What makes Kepler 62f so special? First off, it's in the perfect spot, the habitable zone of its star, where temperatures could allow liquid water to exist. And here's the wild part. Scientists believe it might be a water world, a planet almost entirely covered by oceans, stretching for thousands of miles in every direction. Imagine deep, dark waters hiding unknown creatures, or maybe even intelligent life swimming beneath the waves. But here's where it gets eerie. Kepler 62f orbits a much cooler, dimmer star than our Sun. This means its daylight might be soft and red, casting long shadows over its endless seas. It also means that, if any life exists there, it might have evolved very differently from what we know. Could we live there? Possibly. If it has land, or if we build floating cities, Kepler 62f could be humanity's ultimate oceanic escape. But one thing's for sure, if something's already lurking in those waters, we might not be alone when we get there. Kepler 186f. What if there was a planet just like Earth, but with a red sky and an alien sun? That's Kepler 186f, the first ever Earth-sized exoplanet found in a star's habitable zone. If we could visit, it might feel eerily familiar, yet totally alien. Kepler 186f is about 500 light-years away, and is almost exactly the same size as Earth. That's rare. Most exoplanets we find are either way too big or too small, but this one? It's just right. And because it's in the habitable zone, temperatures might allow liquid water, meaning life could exist there. But here's the twist. Kepler 186f orbits a red dwarf star, not a sun-like star like ours. So what does that mean? Well, the sky wouldn't be blue, it would be red or orange. The plants, they might not even be green. Scientists believe that on planets around red dwarfs, plants could absorb different kinds of light, making them black, purple, or even blood red. Imagine walking through an alien jungle under a dim reddish sky. Spooky, right? The biggest challenge? Red dwarfs are notoriously violent, throwing out powerful solar flares. If Kepler 186f doesn't have a strong atmosphere, it could be a dead world. But if it does, it could be the most Earth-like planet we've ever found. TRAPPIST-1e. Alright, imagine a planet the same size as Earth, in the perfect spot for life, part of a system with not one, not two, but 7 Earth-like planets. Welcome to TRAPPIST-1e, one of the most exciting exoplanets ever discovered. TRAPPIST-1e orbits a red dwarf star, just 40 light-years away, which in cosmic terms is practically next door. It's almost the exact size and mass of Earth, meaning gravity would feel normal, and if it has an atmosphere it could hold on to liquid water. That's huge. Scientists even believe TRAPPIST-1e might have an Earth-like climate, making it one of the best candidates for habitability. Now here's where things get weird. A year on TRAPPIST-1e is only 6 days long. Yup, 6 days. That means its star looks way bigger in the sky than our sun does, and days might last forever, literally. Because of a phenomenon called tidal locking, one side of the planet always faces the star, while the other is stuck in eternal darkness. The best place to live? Right on the twilight zone where light and dark meet, creating an eerie, endless sunset. Could we move there? If TRAPPIST-1e has an atmosphere and water, it might just be the best place for humans outside our solar system. Proxima Centauri b. If Earth ever becomes unlivable, where do we go? Well, Proxima Centauri b might be our best shot. Why? Because it's the closest exoplanet to us, just 4.24 light-years away. In cosmic terms, that's practically next door. If we develop ultra-fast space travel, this could be humanity's first real chance at colonizing another planet. So what's it like? Proxima Centauri b is about 1.3 times the mass of Earth, and orbits in the habitable zone of its star, meaning it could have liquid water. Scientists believe it's rocky, which makes it even more promising. But here's the weird part. A year here lasts only 11 days. Yup, the planet whips around its star way faster than Earth does, but there's a catch. A big one. Proxima Centauri is a red dwarf, and not just any red dwarf, it's a wild one. It throws out violent solar flares that could strip away an atmosphere. If Proxima b doesn't have a strong magnetic field, it might be a barren wasteland instead of a second Earth. Still, the fact that the closest star to us has a planet that could support life, that's huge. If we ever get serious about interstellar travel, Proxima Centauri b might just be our first stop. LHS 1140b. If Earth ever becomes uninhabitable, we might need a backup planet, one that's big, rocky, and stable. Well, meet LHS 1140b, a super-Earth that checks a lot of those boxes. It's about 1.6 times the size of Earth, but here's the kicker, it's 6.5 times heavier. That means it's dense, possibly packed with metal and rock, and could have a strong atmosphere, a crucial ingredient for life. LHS 1140b orbits a quiet red dwarf star about 40 light-years away. Unlike many red dwarfs that blast their planets with deadly radiation, this one seems calm and stable, giving life a much better chance. And the best part? It sits right in the habitable zone, meaning if it has an atmosphere, liquid water could exist on the surface. But here's where things get really wild. Because it's so massive, its gravity would be nearly 3 times stronger than Earth's. Walking there would feel like you're wearing a 100-pound backpack at all times. That means any life that evolved on LHS 1140b would likely be short, stocky, and incredibly strong. Imagine hulking alien creatures adapted to their high-gravity world. Yeah, we're definitely not arm wrestling them. Could humans survive there? If we can handle the gravity, LHS 1140b might just be one of the most promising exoplanets for colonization. But what if someone's already there? Wolf 1061c. Imagine a world 4 times the mass of Earth, sitting in the habitable zone of its star, where temperatures could allow for oceans, forests, and maybe even alien civilizations. That's Wolf 1061c, an exoplanet just 14 light-years away, one of the closest potentially habitable planets we've ever found. Now, here's where things get really strange. Wolf 1061c orbits a red dwarf star, which means its sky might be bathed in an eerie red glow, making everything look surreal. And because it's so close to its star, it might be tidally locked. one side forever scorched in daylight, the other trapped in eternal darkness. The only livable area, the twilight zone, where day and night meet, creating a never-ending sunset. But there's a mystery. Scientists believe Wolf 1061c may have gone through a greenhouse effect like Venus, meaning it could be a steaming, uninhabitable wasteland. Or, it might be just right with a thick atmosphere and liquid water, we just don't know yet. Could it support life? Maybe, if it has a stable climate and an atmosphere thick enough to shield it from deadly solar radiation. Wolf 1061c could be one of the best places for us to settle outside our solar system. So could one of these exoplanets be our next home, or are we truly alone in the universe? As technology advances, we're getting closer to answering these questions. But until then, the possibilities are endless. Which of these exoplanets fascinates you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you love exploring the future of science and space, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech. What if I told you that most of the universe is invisible? That out there, beyond the glittering stars and galaxies, lie vast, terrifying regions of darkness. Places where the laws of physics seem to break, where entire galaxies vanish, and where unseen forces pull us toward an unknown fate. Scientists have discovered some of the most bizarre, mind-bending mysteries hidden in the darkest corners of space. From enormous voids to invisible matter and forces we can't explain. What's really lurking in the cosmic shadows? Buckle up, because today we're diving into the deepest, darkest secrets of the universe. The Boots Void. Imagine looking into the night sky and finding absolutely nothing. No stars, no galaxies, just a vast, eerie emptiness. That's exactly what astronomers found in 1981 when they discovered the Boots Void, one of the largest and most baffling empty spaces in the known universe. This void, spanning nearly 330 million light-years, is so massive that if the Milky Way were placed inside, it would still seem like a tiny speck. Now here's the creepy part. This isn't just a dark region of space where there are fewer stars, it's an area where there should be thousands of galaxies. But instead there are only a handful. Scientists call it a supervoid, but even that term doesn't fully explain how something this enormous and empty could exist. Some theories suggest it formed due to smaller voids merging over billions of years, creating a cosmic desert. But others believe something even more mysterious is at play. Could this void be evidence of something beyond our understanding of physics? Some speculative ideas even suggest advanced extraterrestrial civilizations could have engineered such a void by harvesting galaxies for energy. It sounds like science fiction, but the truth is, we have no definitive explanation. Whatever caused it, one thing is clear. The Boots Void is one of the greatest enigmas of the cosmos. A place so vast and silent it challenges everything we know about how galaxies form and the large-scale structure of the universe. If there's anything lurking inside, we may never know. Dark matter. Right now you're surrounded by invisible matter. You can't see it, touch it, or interact with it in any way, but it's there. Scientists call it dark matter, and it makes up about 27% of the universe. Yet no one knows what it really is. Here's the weird part. If you remove all the stars, planets, and galaxies from the universe, more than 80% of its total mass would still be left behind. This hidden mass is what holds everything together. Without dark matter, galaxies would fall apart because they rotate too fast for their visible mass to keep them intact. It's like some invisible glue is keeping the cosmos from unraveling. But if it's so important, why can't we see it? Well, dark matter doesn't emit, reflect, or absorb light, meaning our telescopes are completely blind to it. Scientists have only been able to detect its presence indirectly through gravitational effects on visible matter. It's like watching trees sway without seeing the wind. And here's where things get even stranger. We have no idea what dark matter is made of. Some theories suggest it could be made of yet undiscovered particles, while others propose it might be linked to an entirely new dimension of physics. Some even wonder if we're looking at the problem all wrong and that gravity itself needs to be redefined. The search for dark matter is one of the biggest scientific mysteries of our time, and solving it could unlock secrets about the fate of the universe itself. But until then, we're left wondering, what is this ghostly presence lurking in the shadows of space? Dark energy. For the longest time, scientists believed that gravity would slow down the expansion of the universe, maybe even stop it completely one day. But in 1998, astronomers made a shocking discovery. Instead of slowing down, the universe's expansion is actually speeding up. Something unseen is pushing galaxies apart at an accelerating rate, as if some mysterious force is actively stretching space itself. They call this force dark energy, and it's even stranger than dark matter. In fact, dark energy makes up a whopping 68% of the universe, meaning most of what exists is something we can't see, touch, or explain. Think of it like this. If the universe were a balloon, dark energy is like an invisible force making it expand faster and faster over time. But here's the catch. We have no idea what dark energy actually is. Some theories suggest it's a property of empty space itself, while others propose that it could be some unknown repulsive force woven into the fabric of reality. But what does this mean for the future? If dark energy continues its relentless expansion, galaxies will drift further apart, stars will burn out, and the universe could eventually become a cold, empty void. Scientists call this terrifying scenario the Big Freeze, a future where everything is too far apart to interact, leaving the cosmos in an eternal lifeless darkness. Right now, dark energy remains one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in physics. It's not just an invisible force, it's the key to understanding the fate of the entire universe. The more we learn about it, the more unsettling it becomes. Is dark energy something natural, or are we witnessing the workings of something far beyond our comprehension? The cosmic microwave background. The cosmic microwave background is often called the echo of the Big Bang, a faint radiation spread across the universe that tells the story of how everything began. But buried within this ancient light is something scientists can't fully explain: the cold spot. Unlike the rest of the CMB, which is fairly uniform, this region is noticeably colder and emptier than expected. And we're not talking about a small difference, it's billions of light years across. Some scientists think it might be a supervoid, an area with far fewer galaxies than normal, causing the light traveling through it to lose energy. But here's where things get creepy. The cold spot is so large and so strange that some physicists believe it could be evidence of something beyond our universe. One mind-bending theory suggests it might be the scar left behind by another universe colliding with ours. Yes, a literal bruise from another reality. If true, this would be the first actual evidence of the multiverse. Other ideas suggest it could be a statistical fluke, but the chances of that are incredibly low. Scientists have been scratching their heads over this mystery for years, and despite all our advancements in cosmology, we still don't have a solid answer. Is the cold spot just a weird quirk of the cosmos, or could it be a window into something far bigger than we ever imagined? Dark galaxies. When you picture a galaxy, you probably imagine something like the Milky Way, a swirling collection of billions of stars, glowing clouds of gas, and bright cosmic fireworks. But not all galaxies shine. Some are nearly invisible, composed mostly of dark matter with barely any stars to light them up. Scientists call these eerie, starless entities dark galaxies. One of the most famous examples is Virgo 21, a galaxy located in the Virgo cluster. But here's the bizarre thing. When astronomers looked for its stars, they couldn't find any. The only clue that it even existed was the way it distorted the space around it with its gravity. It's like a cosmic phantom, something we know is there but can't actually see. And dark galaxies aren't just a rare phenomenon. Some studies suggest they could be more common than regular galaxies, meaning much of the universe could be filled with invisible ghost galaxies, drifting in the dark. But why do they exist, and what can they tell us about dark matter? One possibility is that these galaxies formed in regions where star formation never took off, leaving them as dark, empty shells. Another theory suggests that some may have started normally, but had their gas stolen by larger galaxies, effectively shutting them down. If dark galaxies truly outnumber luminous ones, it means our picture of the universe is incomplete. There's an entire hidden world out there lurking in the shadows just waiting to be discovered. The Great Attractor. Right now, as you're watching this, our entire galaxy is moving at an incredible speed of 1.3 million miles per hour. But here's the question: where are we going? And more importantly, why? Astronomers have discovered that the Milky Way, along with thousands of other galaxies in our region of space, is being pulled toward a mysterious unseen force known as the Great Attractor. It lies about 150 to 250 million light-years away, and it's so powerful that it's dragging entire galaxy clusters toward it. But here's the catch: we can't see it. The Great Attractor is hidden behind the zone of avoidance, an area obscured by our own galaxy's dense stars and dust, making it nearly impossible to observe directly. But even though we can't see what's there, its gravitational influence is undeniable. So what could be causing this massive pull? One idea is that it's a supercluster of galaxies far bigger than anything we've ever seen. Another theory suggests it could be something even more exotic, like a colossal structure of dark matter, bending space on a scale we can barely comprehend. Whatever it is, we're racing toward it at incomprehensible speeds and we still don't fully understand why. Is the Great Attractor just another massive gravitational anomaly, or are we being drawn toward something far more mysterious lurking in the depths of space? The universe is full of mysteries, and the deeper we look, the more questions we uncover. Are we truly alone, or is something lurking in the cosmic dark? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey through space, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more mind-blowing content from InnoVision Tech. See you in the next one. What if the universe ends tomorrow? No warning, no time to prepare, just gone. Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? But here's the crazy part. Scientists actually have theories about how the universe could meet its ultimate fate, from a slow, icy death to a sudden cosmic collapse or even a reality-shattering event that happens instantly. These aren't just wild guesses, they're backed by physics. And the scariest part? Some of them could happen without us ever seeing it coming. So what's the truth? Let's dive into the ultimate doomsday theories and find out how everything we know could end. The Big Freeze. Alright, picture this. You're walking outside one night and for some reason the stars look dimmer. Not just one or two, all of them. The sky feels colder, emptier. Now what if I told you that this is exactly how the universe might end? Not with a bang, not with destruction, but with a slow, agonizing freeze. Scientists call it the Big Freeze or heat death, and honestly it's one of the scariest ways for the universe to go. Right now, our universe is expanding. Galaxies are moving away from each other like people trying to avoid an awkward conversation. But the problem? They never stop moving. Ever. The farther they go, the colder everything becomes. Stars will die, galaxies will vanish, and black holes will eventually evaporate, leaving behind a vast, empty, frozen void. Imagine the last star in the universe, flickering like a dying candle. No more warmth, no more light. Just eternal, infinite darkness. Even atoms might stop vibrating, meaning time itself could just stop. Forever. But here's the real kicker. This isn't something that happens in an instant. It's a slow, inevitable process that would take trillions upon trillions of years. So, if you're worried about waking up tomorrow to an ice-cold void of nothingness, don't be. We still have time, for now. The Big Rip. Okay, imagine you're holding a piece of paper. Now, slowly, tear it in half. Now again, and again, until there's nothing left. Now, apply that same concept to the entire universe, except instead of paper, it's planets, stars, galaxies, even atoms. Welcome to the Big Rip, a theory that suggests one terrifying possibility. Dark energy could one day become so powerful that it overcomes everything. Gravity, nuclear forces, even the very fabric of space itself. Right now, dark energy is this mysterious force making the universe expand faster and faster. But what if that acceleration keeps increasing? What if, in a distant future, galaxies are torn from each other? Then solar systems? Then planets? Eventually, even your body would be stretched and ripped apart, atom by atom. And the worst part, scientists estimate that if the Big Rip is real, it would happen in a sudden, unstoppable chain reaction. First, galaxies separate. Then, black holes dissolve. Then, planets and moons start drifting away, until in the final moments, boom! Space-time itself is shredded, and the universe as we know it ceases to exist. So, while we might be safe for billions of years, if this theory turns out to be true, well, let's just say we won't see it coming. The Big Crunch. Alright, let's flip the script. What if, instead of expanding forever, the universe suddenly decided to reverse? Imagine watching a movie of the Big Bang, but in reverse. Galaxies stop moving outward and start falling back toward each other. Space itself shrinks. Stars collide. The entire universe begins to implode under its own gravity. This is the terrifying possibility of the Big Crunch. At first, it wouldn't be noticeable. The cosmos is vast, and these changes would happen over billions of years. But eventually things would get weird. Galaxies would merge in violent collisions, black holes would devour everything in sight, and temperatures would skyrocket as matter condensed. Now, picture the very last moments. Everything, stars, planets, dust, even light itself, squeezed into an unimaginable singularity. A point so dense, so hot that the laws of physics completely break down. Sound familiar? Yep. This singularity would look exactly like the one that started the Big Bang. Which raises the question, what if this isn't the first time it's happened? What if the universe doesn't just end, but resets? The Big Bounce theory suggests that once the universe collapses, another Big Bang could ignite a new beginning. A fresh universe with new galaxies, new planets, maybe even new versions of us. So is the Big Crunch the end of everything or just a cosmic reboot? We don't know. But if history really does repeat itself, the universe may be stuck in an endless loop of birth, death, and rebirth. Kind of poetic, isn't it? Vacuum decay. Alright, this one is pure nightmare fuel. Unlike the Big Freeze or the Big Crunch where the universe takes billions of years to die, this could happen at any moment. Without warning. Let me introduce you to vacuum decay, or as some physicists like to call it, the Big Slurp. Sounds funny, right? Yeah, not when you realize what it means. Right now our universe exists in what's called a false vacuum, kind of like standing on thin ice. It feels stable, but beneath us, there might be something more fundamental, something more real. If a quantum fluctuation or some bizarre high-energy event were to trigger a shift, a tiny bubble of true vacuum could form. And guess what? That bubble would expand at the speed of light. You wouldn't see it coming, you wouldn't feel it, it would just happen. 1 second the universe is here, the next, gone. The laws of physics would change instantly. Atoms would stop being atoms. Time and space would cease to exist as we know them. It sounds like sci-fi, but this isn't some horror movie plot, it's actual science. Some physicists believe that if the universe is truly in a false vacuum state, then vacuum decay is inevitable. The only good news? If it happens, we wouldn't have time to process it. No suffering, no pain, just poof. So, will we wake up tomorrow and find out the universe has been rewritten? Probably not, but the possibility alone is enough to keep some scientists awake at night. Sleep well. The Big Bounce. Alright, let's think outside the box for a second. What if the universe never really ends? What if, instead of collapsing into nothingness or freezing over, it just bounces back? Imagine a giant cosmic heartbeat, expanding, collapsing, expanding again. This is what scientists call the Big Bounce. It all starts with a big crunch, where everything gets pulled back together, condensed into a singularity. But instead of staying trapped, something triggers another Big Bang, a new universe bursting into existence, repeating the cycle all over again. And here's where things get really crazy. What if every new universe is just slightly different? Maybe in one version the laws of physics are the same, but galaxies form in completely different places. Maybe in another, the speed of light is different or gravity is stronger. And maybe, just maybe, there's another version of you out there living a completely different life. This theory makes the universe feel less like a one-time event and more like an eternal process. The end? It's just the start of something new, over and over again. And if that's true, then maybe this isn't the first time we've had this conversation. Maybe in some past version of the universe you've already heard this before. And maybe, just maybe, you'll hear it again. The role of dark energy. Okay, now let's talk about the real mystery here, dark energy. If the universe's fate is a movie, dark energy is the director. We can't see it, we don't fully understand it, but it's shaping everything. And depending on what dark energy really is, it could decide which of these doomsday endings actually happens. Right now, dark energy makes up about 68% of the entire universe. It's like a force that's pushing everything apart, making space expand faster and faster. But here's the scary part. We have no idea what it is. Is it a constant force? Will it get stronger? Or could it suddenly change? If dark energy stays constant, the universe might just expand forever, leading us straight into the Big Freeze. And if it gets stronger, we might be headed for the Big Rip, where space itself is torn apart. But if it weakens, gravity could take over again, pulling everything back for a big crunch. And here's something even crazier. What if dark energy isn't just controlling this universe, but all universes? Some scientists think that dark energy could be linked to the multiverse, meaning that whatever happens to our universe is just a tiny piece of something much, much bigger. So, will dark energy let the universe drift into an icy grave, rip it apart, or start the cycle all over again? The truth is, we don't know. But one thing's for sure. Dark energy is the key to everything. So, is the universe destined for a slow freeze, a violent collapse, or something even stranger? The truth is, we may never know until it happens. But one thing's for sure, the cosmos is full of mysteries waiting to be unraveled. If you love exploring the mind-blowing possibilities of science in the future, make sure to subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more deep dives into the unknown. What do you think will be the universe's ultimate fate? Let's discuss in the comments.